Prem Rawat, widely known by the honorary title Maharaji, has dedicated his life to spreading a simple message: that each person has a source of peace and fulfillment inside themselves. His message is from the heart. He speaks about the possibility for each person to find peace within, regardless of circumstances. If you are looking for fulfillment and peace, he says, the solution lies within. If that is what you want, I can help.
During the last 40 years, I've been traveling around the world, reporting on the customs and traditions that give meaning to our lives. During those years, I discovered that the ones that were most valuable to me were the ones that gave me a sense of inner peace and self-knowledge. A couple of years ago, I told a friend of mine that I was interested in taking a break from traveling around the outside world and wanted to make a trip to the inside to find out more about my own feelings and how they might relate to the universal themes of life. He suggested that I take a look at the teachings of a man named Prem Rawat. Prem, who is also known as Maharaji, is originally from India and has been speaking to people around the world for about 30 years. He talks about the possibility of knowing contentment in our lifetime. He points out that the forces of modern society may stimulate our desires and drive us outward in a search for happiness, but lasting happiness can only be found within you. Like most people, I am interested in inner peace and self-knowledge. But as a journalist, I am particularly skeptical of anybody who tries to show me how to find it. In spite of that cynicism, I attended 2 lectures by Prem, and I found his message to be timely and quite significant and quite entertaining. And most surprisingly, some of the things he said actually helped me solve some problems that I was having with my family. I want to point out that I am not a student of Prem Rawat. I am a journalist interested in his story and his message, and he's very open about that. He says that the things that he teaches are significant to some people, but not to others. I have seen people in other places searching for a kind of self-knowledge or a knowledge different from the immediate environment. And I thought, wow, what an interesting reality, that there are people searching for better ways to live and teaching them. That's the way I see you, as teaching a better way to live.
What I want to teach is not a bunch of ideas and not a bunch of concepts. I want to teach you to discover what you already have. It's a very different kind of teaching.
But you're teaching me. That's what I feel.
Or how about holding up a mirror? My job is to make sure the mirror is nice and clean. Nice and clean. I hold the mirror up. And then I get to watch you smile when you see in the mirror, because you're always pleasantly surprised.
What you say about mirrors is now echoing in terms of my relationship with my children. They'd ask me questions, and then I'd let them talk.
People look at me and it's like, I didn't ask you to hold the mirror. I asked you a question. Why are you holding the mirror? And I'm saying, yeah, but keep looking, and you will learn to look within you. And when you do, you will find the answers. And I sit there and I clean the mirror, and clean the mirror, and clean the mirror, and clean the mirror. Look. I don't want to look. I haven't got the time to look. I'm too busy. That's not what I want right now in my life. Well, what do you want in your life? Did you look at the mirror again? No, I can't. I'm too busy. There's other things going on. This is interesting, but someday. Today is your day. Every day is your day, not someday. Every day is your day. That's the way it is. Getting lost is our expertise. Getting found to undo all that. No, egos come into play. Pride comes into play. Me getting lost? Never. I saw this on the news. These couple got into a very serious situation, and they had a GPS, and they were just following the GPS. Of course, if you look at the GPS, you realize you're like 100 miles away from the nearest highway. It's telling you that, but it kept telling them turn left, turn left, turn left. It was confused, whatever reason it was. The other day, the GPS said turn left, and there was a railway track there. And they started turning onto the railway track. It was just after the railway track that they needed to turn left. Getting lost is easy. Getting found is undoing all the things you did that got you lost. Undoing them, you will find where you need to go.
Some people argue that the search for peace requires the undoing of resentment and conflicting desire within you. Talk about that.
The only thing that the inner peace requires is that you get in touch with that inner place. That's what it requires. I mean, let's take an analogy. If I'm going to gas up my car, I'd realize I'm driving along and I see that it's running on empty and I need gas. What should I be doing?
Driving to the gas station, I would hope.
Well, how about kicking the tires?
Not going to be that helpful to you in the long run.
How about rolling down the windows?
Pleasant, but not going to help.
There it is. You need gas. You need to get in touch with that inner place. That's what's going to make the difference. People might say, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to fix this, you have to fix that, do this, do that. No. Go within, feel it.
You know, there was a wonderful psychologist, experimental psychologist named Skinner. And he did an experiment where he had a box and there was a chicken in it and a bar. And when the chicken hit the bar, food would come down. But the chicken didn't realize that. It would dance around and do lots of different things and then accidentally hit the bar and the food would come down. And it took the longest time for the chicken to understand that all the dancing and the jumping and the nodding was irrelevant. Concentrate on the bar. And in a way, you're saying that. Pay attention to what really delivers.
Exactly.
Forget about the other stuff.
Exactly. Because that's what's going to matter at the end of the day.
What does a life look like when the person has inner peace?
It is in perspective. There's my responsibility, there's my mortgage, there's my bank loan, there's my problems, and there's me. They don't disappear. Inner peace doesn't take away mortgages. You can't go to a mortgage place and say, now I have inner peace, so I'm not going to pay you. No. Everything stays that way where it was. Thing that has changed. One thing that has changed. You have found peace. That's what's changed.
Is it selfish to seek inner peace? Is it self-indulgent?
Let me give you an analogy. You're in the desert, 5, 6 people, they're talking. And there happens to be this guy, and he really is thirsty. He's dying of thirst. And from a distance, he sees this group of people standing there, so he crawls over there, and when he comes over, he says, "Water, water." Now, is he selfish?
No.
Is he being rude? The call for peace, the call for joy, the call for that feeling is a necessity, just like hunger, just like thirst. And when somebody responds to that, it is not selfish, because it's a need, a fundamental need that we have to be content, to be fulfilled. If we turn the volume down on the outside, because the volume is turned up so high, we can't hear what we're trying to say to ourselves. Something inside has been crying out again and again and again and again. You know, I see so many people, and yes, they go to a party and they're standing up and they're dancing and they're doing this and they're doing that, and then I see them sit down and have a quiet moment, and it's like, what is it like coming home?
Wonderful for me.
Wonderful for me and wonderful for so many people to come home, where we don't have to put a pretense on, where there's nothing distracting. We can be who we are. Be who we are. That home also is like that on the inside, where we can be in peace, where that's the reality, where that's what is shining, that peace, that joy. And how can you say, or anyone say, that it's a luxury when it's such a necessity?
Let's hear what's going on inside.
Turn that big volume knob down a little bit. Hear what's being said. There are wonderful things happening here. Some voice inside, some feeling inside saying, be content, be fulfilled. If somebody keeps doing the same thing and they expect a different result, they can be qualified as a little crazy, a little mad. So why am I telling you this? And why do I find it fascinating, this particular definition, to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result? Because unfortunately, that's what we do. Since a very, very long time on the face of this earth, we've basically been doing the same thing. That's why I'm here. To propose to you that you do something different. Instead of looking for the solutions on the outside, look for them on the inside. You won't find all solutions on the inside, you will find core solutions on the inside. What are the core solutions that you need? You need, by design, not by thought, not by choice, by design of a human being, you need to be in peace. Peace, not the kind of peace that is tied to something, but a peace that is inherent in every human being. Every human being. And we're talking everyone. Peace that is there when we are asleep, peace that is there when we are awake, a peace that is there when we are in the middle of the greatest turmoil. Not a result of something, not a consequence of something. Just because you turned off your stereo and you closed your windows and you turned off the air conditioning, now it's quiet and peaceful. No, no, no. A peace that's always there, even when that air conditioning was running, even when there is a war on the outside, something quiet and beautiful on the inside.
How do you explain to people what that feeling is like?
You have to feel it. And once you feel it, then you will have the common reference necessary. Peace within yourself, to be in that harmony, not the harmony outside. That's impossible, because so much is changing. But inside, you are very, very still. It's like a huge wheel, and the outermost part of that wheel is turning the fastest. And as you go in, slows down, slows down, slows down, slows down, till the very center is barely moving.
What a wonderful image. The outside of the wheel spinning around like mad, and the center quiet and still.
Exactly.
Isn't everybody looking for the same thing?
Today, the sad thing is that when somebody says peace, it doesn't mean the same thing. It should. It should be as common as saying, thirsty? Well, one thing I always find very fascinating, it doesn't matter which part of the world you go to. You may not know the language, but if you're thirsty, you can communicate. You can go like this. You can go like this. If you're hungry, exactly, you can go like this. Because it's common. It's common. Peace should be a common expression, not different versions of it, because it is real and it is within every single human being. The human being that resolves in their lives to be true to that thirst, to be true to that feeling, to be true to this breath, to be true to existence, has already succeeded. There is no more success. Accomplishments, okay. Come and go, okay. But success, that's success.
Quite a few million people are going to watch us talking. And they're going to get a sense of how we are both committed to the inner peace and the center of the wheel. And they're going to say, all right, I want what those two guys get. What do we tell them?
3 points you have to clarify, whether you do it by asking yourself or just think about it. There's more to me than what I've thought about.
There's more to me than what I have thought was there.
Yes.
Okay. Second question.
I am more important than the sum of all my success and failure.
I am more important than the sum of all of my success and failure. Second point. So I've answered yes to those two.
Third, if you have honestly answered those yes to those two, and thus honesty, I'm not going to be the judge of it.
You can't. Only I
can't.
can, right?
Only you can. Then the last question, most importantly, am I ready to be fulfilled?
Am I ready to be fulfilled? Am I ready to make the commitment for what I must do to achieve that?
To achieve that. If you don't accept the possibility that peace is inside of you, how can you ask the question, do I want to be fulfilled? If you don't accept the fact that you are more important than all the things that happen around you, what does fulfillment, what can fulfillment mean to you? But only after you have answered yes to those two, then ask the third question, do I want to be fulfilled? And if that one comes up, yes, I can help. The question is, can you be fulfilled every single day of your life? And the answer to that is, yes, you can. Every single day. Every day you have to renew. Every day you have to re-understand, this is what I'm about to do. I am today going to use the resources of today and the resources that are within me to fulfill myself. Priority number one. Yes, I will do this. Yes, I will do this. Yes, I have to go there. Yes, I have to go there. Yes, I have to do this. Yes, I have to talk to this person. Yes, I have to buy this. Yes, I have to sell this. Yes, I have to do this. But today, I will also also fulfill myself. Today, I will experience peace. Today, I will experience peace. No more dualities, no more confusion, but just understanding. Just answers. Answers. No questions, just answers. I understand. I understand. It doesn't matter where I go, which country, what culture, the thirst to be happy, to be content is exactly the same. We are all so different and yet so alike.
How do you see that in people? Are there things that they say?
When they hear the message that within you is something very profound, very beautiful, it isn't like, huh? But it's like, I know that. I know that. Isn't that incredible? You're telling them something new and they're going, no, this isn't new. I have known that there is something so profound inside of me. One of the most fundamental things is, do I or do I not understand that within me there is something waiting to be discovered? There is more to me than I realize. There is more to you than you ever thought of. That within me there is a treasure worth more than all the money in this world. That there is a most beautiful scene, more beautiful than anything I can imagine. And if I can accept that, then I am on my way to understanding what that peace is.
I wonder, if I get to the center of the wheel, how do I deal with the people around me? What's going to happen to friends, acquaintances, business associates who aren't at the center of the wheel? Am I still going to have a life?
You will have just one difference. Only one. And that difference is, you will be at the center of the wheel. You are life peaceful. You have found your treasure. When you become rich, you become rich. When you quench your thirst, you no longer need that water. So much fear comes in. What will happen if I get inner peace? Well, will I become a vegetable? This is what a lot of people think. Oh, I'll have to wear, clothes like a monk. Oh, I'll have to live on a mountain, and I won't be able to see my child, and I won't be able to do this, No. You see, it's like being in a very dark place. And it's really dark. And you're wondering, gee, I wish I had a flashlight. And then you remember, well, you know what? I thought I had a flashlight. I wonder where I put it. And it's in your pocket. And it's already on.
What about outer peace?
Outside peace is relative. Inside peace is always there. Always. Even when that hurricane is coming, that peace is there.
So the real answer to the craziness on the front page of the newspaper is enough people with inner peace.
Look within. Look within. Find it. Feel it. Enjoy it. Live it. Like it. Love it. This that I talk about is the very fundamental thing that is. And the thirst and the desire for it is the fundamental. And the question is, do you understand how fundamental that thirst is? How fundamental your need is to be in peace? This is all about backtracking and figuring it out. You came in this world, all you wanted to do was be happy. If you don't believe me, just watch a baby. That's all the baby wants to do. If it's happy, it's happy. Not happy, make me happy. That's who we were, and indeed, that's who we are. The process is just to start, and then the attraction to find the peace falls in place. And whether people call it search, a lot of people call it search. I don't call it search. I just call it being attracted. Attracted.
So what did I take away from these interviews? The first point was that each person is unique, and we should try to appreciate our uniqueness and not spend our lives trying to be like anyone else. That logic is important, but so is what we feel. Too often we try to reason our way through life when we might be better off responding to our feelings. Inner peace and happiness are feelings. And perhaps most important for me, the answer to almost all of our questions are inside us. Pay attention to what you feel. There's an old saying, we enter the world empty-handed, and that's the way we leave it. But Prem has a slightly different take on that. He says we may enter the world empty-handed, but we have the opportunity to leave it with a sense of self-knowledge and inner peace. So it looks like my journey might just be beginning. I certainly hope so. Thanks for watching.